The world of pro wrestling has been around for many years, so you can understand that there are various incidents or events that have marked it both for good and bad. The story of this discipline that we love so much. I'll give you a brief explanation without wasting too much time chatting because the video will be too long. On the internet, an iceberg analyzes snippets related to the topic, in this case wrestling, arranging them in different levels of knowledge. I have decided to distribute them from the 1st to the 8th level. So, starting from the 1st level with things that more or less everyone knows about the world of wrestling, we will reach the 8th level, which hides some strange theories or facts that have remained hidden from most people, even to the most hardcore fans of the discipline. There are some foreign videos on this topic. I was inspired by amusing Louis for this, and the iceberg picture I took from Reddit. I warn you that some topics covered might be sensitive, so here's a heads up.
Can't you fly?
An idea pushed forward by those unfamiliar with this discipline. Those who follow it know that pro wrestling is not fake, it's predetermined. The outcomes are decided in advance. The more violent moves like punches and kicks are performed to protect the opponent, but the maneuvers are real and the danger is real. This disgraceful event took place in 1996 when New Jack and Mustafa Saeed, known as the Gangstas, were supposed to face Devon Dudley and Axl Rose. Rotten. Unfortunately, due to a family emergency, he could not attend the show, and a young kid named Eric Kulas convinced Paul Heyman, then head of ICW, to take Sentax Rotten's place. New Jack was notorious for his unparalleled violence in the ring and went after the kid, who was actually not a wrestler, and got beat up. Both regarding that and his age, because he was 17 years old and not 23 as he claimed. He suffered severe consequences because New Jack, in true ECW style, attacked him with a bunch of objects, causing a blade job but cut too deeply, severing 2 arteries on his head. Forehead. A wound that required 50 stitches, and Kulas really risked his life. New Jack was arrested but released and declared not guilty, while Kulas died only 5 years later due to complications following gastric bypass surgery. Another rather bizarre theory, because it has been confirmed by pretty much everyone that the Montreal Screwjob was real. However, this theory simply claims that the event which took place in '97 was planned and that even the Letad was aware of it. It was a storyline with terrible timing, meant to write Vince McMahon off by faking his on-screen death, but it was cancelled because it happened right before the Chris Benoit incident. It was then changed to Vince trying to see who cared about him by faking his own death. This point refers to an alleged relationship between Stephanie and Macho Man Randy Savage back then, with the boss's then 17-year-old daughter. This seems to be the reason Macho Man ended up in WCW. Witnesses from that period say Vince McMahon didn't even want to hear Randy Savage's name mentioned. To this day, there are various rumors. Stephanie has never confirmed it, and Macho Man, as we know, is dead. However, several people have confirmed this relationship. Originally from the Tonga Islands, Haku is often called the toughest wrestler ever. There are a lot of urban legends, or maybe not, who knows, that portray Q as a real savage. Once he bit off the nose of a person who claimed wrestling was fake in 1989. Brutus Beefcake described him as a real killer capable of killing multiple people with his bare hands. Another time, he cracked the skull of a karate champion. Rick Steiner said he saw him knock out 5 Marines simultaneously in a few seconds. You know, wrestling legends tend to exaggerate. There was nothing to it. Social media, there are no testimonies, but let's stay cautious. Their words are good. This point refers to Hulk Hogan's dismissal in 2015 when a sex tape of his, dating back to 2007, surfaced and the Hulkster was fired. She spoke badly about her daughter's then boyfriend, Bruco, while taking care of private matters. Hogan, the boyfriend, was actually an African-American guy who was repeatedly called the N-word, which led to multi-million-dollar lawsuits against both those who spread the video and against Hogan. However, in the end, Hogan's public apologies partially saved his reputation, and in 2018 he was rehired by WWE as a legend. Various personalities in the backstage, including Mauro Ranallo, The Mizo, Mark Henry, brought to light several inappropriate behaviors of the former world champion and then WWE commentator, so much so that in 2017 part of the WWE universe started tweeting, or at least commenting, writing to WWE to fire Bradshaw. The termination never happened, but they cut his on-screen time, limiting his role to commentator. Now we see him more in the panels of the two, pre-show, and no longer as a permanent presence behind the table doing commentary. This movement, driven by the hashtag #OSpeakingOut, started in June 2020 after accusations against wrestler David Starr for violence and inappropriate behavior towards female colleagues. Following this, a series of performers were accused of similar offenses, leading to several dismissals for those named on the list. In May of 1999, Owen Hart, portraying the character Blue Blazer, was descending from the roof of the arena at the Over the Edge pre-pay-per-view event. When he was 24 meters up, something went wrong and the Canadian fell, crashing into the post. There is no footage of this tragic event, or rather, there is footage, but it wasn't airing because during the entrance, WWF was showing a Blue Blazer interview. What we have is footage from the main camera, which is always on, but no one has seen this footage because it's stored in WWE archives with a half-hour order. Do not share it, do not delete it, and do not duplicate it. The only thing we have, apart from some photos taken by fans in the arena, is an audio track of the Spanish commentators who were shocked when they saw it. This terrible event.
Amigos! Algo. Oh, Dios mío.
It is said that after Ultimate Warrior left in 1991 and returned in 1992, the actors portraying Ultimate Warrior changed. This is obviously false despite physical differences in muscle mass and hairstyle. The primary suspect for replacing the original Jim Hellwig at that time was, of course, Kenny Von Erich. It's a theory, and it has always been the same for former. This is another urban legend circulating in the wrestling community, claiming that WCW's failure was an inside job supposedly orchestrated by Vince Russo, who they say was sent by Vince. The truth is that WCW already had one foot in the grave. Bischoff was exhausted. He preferred to step aside. The stellar contracts certainly didn't help the company financially, which kept losing every week against Raw, and Vince Russo is kind of the scapegoat for this because he came up with quite imaginative storylines. He even became world champion, by the way.
Okay guys, for today and everything, subscribe to the channel and leave a like for the next parts. Bye.